The reason that I named this Idaho 4 Dylan Shocking Claims by Justin, aka Pappa Rodger, because some guy matched up the IP addresses for um, Pappa Rodger and this Justin Rodriguez guy. He happened to, well, let me just go and I will play the if you're in here, say hello so we know you're here. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and try to find, and I'll play. He put out a video on YouTube the other day. Then he went on another YouTuber's channel and she interviewed him. And you will not believe the things that he's claiming. He's claiming that there were 4 individuals in the house that night. Um, One of them was Bethany Funk's brother. And I don't believe all this. He's got a whole bunch of BS with maybe little tiny morsels of truth in there along with it. But first, and I also think he's the guy on TikTok because his name is J Rod Speaks on YouTube. Um, and I'm going to find him in just a second. Let me figure out how to share. Oh, okay, never mind.
I watched that video and
Oh my gosh. Did you watch the
I don't
interview?
understand.
Did you watch the interview though? I mean, it is so crazy. Okay, now help me out here and tell me how to do this. I forgot. I have to bring up another. Um,
You've got it up there.
Wait.
Bring up another window. From the
I
window,
I open
you're
another
going
window, right,
to play that.
to play it, right? Is that what I do? Is it? Let's
Mm-hmm.
see.
Yeah.
The string. Okay. Let's see. We are still learning a little bit, y'all. So just try to have some patience with us. I can't leave the side. So I open
We took
another.
a little hiatus there, so
Yeah, definitely a little hiatus. So I open another window. Oh, okay. Never mind. StreamYard is sharing a window still. Okay, got it. Okay, now let me
now you
see.
can play in that and yeah.
Okay. If he hasn't taken it down already. But now I think I do have a screenshot of it if he did. Oh no, 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 no. Um right here it is. And we're gonna go to this one next. But I want y'all to hear um that's some this is him. This is the one that he came out with. Can everybody see this?
Is this are you showing the video or are you showing the interview?
I'm trying to show I don't know how to do it. Hold on. How do I get it to come up on the screen? Can you hear me? Please hit okay. If I'm
I can hear
sharing,
you.
okay, how do I get it to present? Video file, extra camera slots. Where do I go to do I mean, do I have to have another window open in my background to share
Don't you
this?
just Don't you just tell it to play while you've got it up there?
Well, I don't. Give me just a minute. I'll figure it out. Share screen. Okay. That's what I want to share right there. Okay, now can we see it? Okay, yes, we can see it now.
Little box there, but there's nothing in there yet.
I can see it on my end.
There we go. Now it's up there.
Okay, so. Okay, give me just a second to get back over here and start it because you have to start it. Okay, now just listen to this, okay? And I'll stop it and we'll do a little bit of commentary along the way so it's still good for fair use. Listen to this guy though. And this isn't even the half of it. I'll show you the other stuff shortly.
On the night of November 13th.
Let me back it up. Okay, here we go. Just listen.
On Monday of last week, Dylan Mortensen was attacked by 3 men. These 3 men, plus an additional man, are the killers who were inside the 1122 Keene house on the night of November 13th. Now, I want to name their names, but I probably shouldn't. I've already received threats in the past, and I'm not exactly looking forward to getting more. Due to the extra ridiculous, unconstitutional as hell gag order, Dylan cannot talk and tell her story. But I can. I am working for the defense off the books, and I am not subject to the gag order. Any intel fed to me is through a means of communication that does not break the gag order. That information from my informant gives me legal grounds to speak on this topic and to tell Dylan's story for her. The reason Dylan was attacked is because, yes, Dylan is trans. You heard me right.
I don't believe
Dylan
it.
is trans. I know this to be a fact. This is information that I exclusively know. I have a middleman, my informant, who's talking to Dylan for me. When I say that I have informants and sources, I'm really not joking about it. They're really legitimate. I'm also being attacked due to being trans. As I have gotten closer and closer to the truth of what all happened in Moscow, I've been getting more and more resistance, pushback, and I have even had, assault and death threats. Which, for those of you who are responsible for those threats, I've already given them to a lawyer. Have fun with that. I'm absolutely the wrong trans guy to screw around with. I always tell you, fuck around and find out. Well, fuck around and find out. I'm not going to back down from this challenge because I'm not afraid of a challenge. Challenges such as going through the entire process of transitioning from female to male, including 20 full years of transition. That's social, legal, medical, surgical, everything. I have fully transitioned. I am now post-transition, including phalloplasty surgery. I breezed right through it, had all 4 stages done in less than a year and a half. I'm completely done with phalloplasty. So, I'm pretty sure I'm an expert on this topic. Pretty sure it's also not the place of someone who is not trans to be telling this story or talking about this topic. I mean, that said, shall we get to the meat and potatoes of it? Thanks, harsh reality. I'm stealing that from you. When Dylan was attacked last week, she suffered.
Okay, I'm going to just stop for a second. Listen to what all he says. It's absolutely absurd. Absurd. This guy needs help, I think. I really do think he needs help. And check your private chat. I sent you something. Okay, let's listen.
Kidney damage due to blunt force trauma. Her injuries from this attack are more.
Here, I'll back that up a minute.
That said, shall we get to the meat and potatoes of it? Thanks, harsh reality. I'm stealing that from you.
There we go.
When Dylan was attacked last week, she suffered kidney damage due to blunt force trauma. Her injuries from this attack are more severe than anyone understands due to a specific combination of medications that Dylan has been taking. These specific medications can cause high blood pressure, heart problems, and type 2 diabetes. The type 2 diabetes is why Dylan was put on lisinopril. Lisinopril treats all three of these problems at the same time, which is why they did not give her something stronger and faster acting to treat the kidney problems. The medications would have interacted and caused more problems, which nobody wants, right? So, this is also why Dylan has to have dialysis right now. Because the hormone therapy caused these other problems. And her kidney is at 50% functionality because of the diabetes by itself. And, she has to be on dialysis because of that. And right now, last I was told,
Hey guys, I just want to stop real quick, and I've had a couple of people say that it's cutting out or it's pausing or whatever. Can you let us know in the chat if it is cutting out on your end, and or if you can hear it clearly, please? Thank you.
she is still potentially waiting for a transplant. Potentially, we don't really know yet. But originally, the night of November 13th, Dylan's life was spared because she was a loyal friend to Bethany Funky. And Dylan had life-changing surgery on January 27th of this year. She arrived home roughly February 7th or 8th. The three men found out about her surgery. It scared them, and it made them not trust her. Which brings us full circle back to Monday, February 13th, 2022. Dylan wasn't supposed to survive this attack. We don't know how they found Dylan or got to her, but they did. Dylan has already been brought into PC before the attack occurred. Dylan is now talking and cooperating in order to help bring justice to all the victims of the events of November 13th, 2022. Dylan wants to come out and tell this story, but she's not being allowed to because of the gag order. I was chosen to speak for her. She has been following me, my story, and she wants to speak to me. Which potentially I will be doing that on Wednesday. There is a chance I will get an exclusive conversation with Dylan on Wednesday. I'm very much looking forward to that. Because it's not the place.
Just so we know, Wednesday came and went yesterday, and he doesn't have anything up as far as him talking to Dylan. Rose, are you still having problems hearing? Rose,
Yeah, I'm still having issues hearing you.
turn
It's
your
cutting
back.
out. The video you're playing's cutting out.
Okay, I don't know why, but
Turn my what?
you're gonna have to turn some TV down in your background. You can't have all that background noise going on. It's distracting.
I ain't got no noise on in here.
There's a TV. There's a
I ain't
TV
got
on somewhere. What was that? Oh,
in here.
huh? Okay. I'm going to start it back, and I'm going to leave the laptop and walk outside with my phone and see how it sounds, since nobody will tell us anything. Okay?
Of someone who is not trans to be telling you this information and sharing this story with you. That's the truth of Dylan being trans. And I just think it's really cool that I get to be the one to tell you. It's a big deal that means a lot to a lot of people. I normally don't make these videos. I normally don't out other people. I normally don't tell their stories for them. This is a special situation. There are extenuating circumstances to an absolutely insane degree. And, I'm not going to leave Dylan's side. If she wants to be my friend, I will stay by her side the rest of her life. She is family. I've got her 6. I will not back down from a fight to protect her. I will not back down from a fight to clear her name and restore her reputation. These people who did this need to be brought to justice. And I am hoping and praying that Wednesday, these 3 individuals will go down for what they've done. I hate when trans people are attacked by people who don't want to open their minds and have conversations. They want to jump to false narratives and lies and making trans people out to be something we're not. Because there are a lot of people out there who are not trans, but they are claiming trans, and they're setting just a horrible, horrible example for the rest of us. It's causing those of us who are actually trans to not be taken seriously. And that by itself, that didn't help Dylan at all. That made things worse for Dylan. And I mean, let's think about it. She was in Moscow, Idaho. That town is controlled by Christ Church and the cartel. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong. And I have more than enough evidence to back it up. This town is not exactly a place where someone who is trans would want to be. Nor would people who are gay and bi. Which makes sense of why they all lived together in that house. None of them were entirely straight. Not one of them. Ethan wasn't dating Xana. Xana was Ethan's beard. Ethan was bi, if not gay. And he was hooking up with Hudson. And potentially some other people who I'm not going to name their names right now, but they know who they are. And I absolutely cannot wait for them to face justice. Because you don't attack someone who is trans and get away with it. Not around me, not in front of me. It just doesn't happen. I really am the wrong trans guy to piss the fuck off. I keep warning you. Fuck around and find the fuck out. Guess what? You fucked around, now you're finding out. I'm not sorry. And that's the tea. So, until next time, I love you, fam.
Drinking ice water flushes 1 pound of belly fat every day. People are flushing away pound after pound of thick, wobbly fat every day, all by doing this mysterious hack with their ice cubes at night. If you're struggling to lose weight, you need to see this right now.
Okay.
Because Stanford researchers recently revealed that weight gain has little to do with diet or exercise.
Let me get rid of this.
After studying over 170 years of scientific data, these researchers discovered that all overweight.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, that's the thing he put out on, I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday, but he, hold on a second. Now, I don't know if you know, the YouTube guy or TikTok guy, the TikTok guy that was doing those weird videos, and everybody was thinking it was Brian Kohberger at first. And he was putting up these videos with shoes and talking about how it was crazy. Anyway, this is the same guy because it was J Rod. His thing over there is J Rod something. We'll go to that in a few minutes. But there's a channel called Truth and Transparency. And he came into her chat and he decided that he was going to say something, and he said something. And he just, I mean, let's go to it. Give me just a second. And I'll forward it to the Truth and Justice. Yeah, she's debunking his claims left and right. So after y'all get done listening to this, you can go check out some more of her videos. But let me just find. Okay, let me just do this. Let me find it here. Okay. She's taking it down. Yep, she's taking it down. But I do have a screen recording of it. It's on my phone. But I don't think that I can. Give me just a second. I did screen record it because he's claiming that. Oh gosh, there's just all kinds of claims. He's got. It's ridiculous. And Chief Frye, the chief of the town, Moscow. He's saying that he was arrested last week. Where's that? Everything is on my phone. Hold on. Give me just a second. Because I was trying to upload this earlier and it. Okay, I've got it. Let me see if I can upload it. Are you there, Rose? Rose? Let me see if I can send it to mail. And I can download it. Give me just a second. She's taking it down, so this is the only way we're going to get to see it. And it's taken a minute to. Are you there, Rose? Hello? I can hear noise. Gosh, I don't know how to AirPlay. I can't do that. Rose, I hear your background noise. Where are you? Dang it. That really sucks that we can't. I may have to do it in another one. But I mean, this guy is claiming so much stuff, and Dylan or Lana on Truth and Transparency, she proved that Dylan is not trans. She is absolutely not trans. Okay. she found pictures. Well, I'll show you. She said if he didn't bring receipts, she was going to delete the video. So, I guess she has. Let's see. Give me just a second. Yeah, it's gone. She's taking it down. And I tried to upload it, but it's long and I don't know how. I don't think you can share StreamYard from your phone. I really don't. So, I can play it where you can listen to it. Give me just a second. And I think I did forward to just the
Sorry, I had to laugh out loud for that.
Okay.
The video, I already played the video. A voice, make it known. Again, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that they came back and ruled and said that just make sure you guys check that out. True. All I wanted to point out was that the video and this, unless somebody is messing with whatever, but this screen shot of a post is the same picture that Justin, it's the same Justin person that was in the video. And he has been, allegedly do the gag order either. So I'm curious. I
hold on one second. Let me get it going again.
Sorry, I had to laugh out loud for that.
Well,
sorry, I had to laugh out loud for that. The video, I already played the video. A voice.
okay, I did the screen recording and I thought hold on a second. I'll figure this out in a second. Okay, wrong phone. Never mind. Okay, I'll just play it and then I'll go to the since I can't upload it right now because we'll just listen to it and you can hear everything they say. This is Lana.
Do you think they're going to make an announcement
stop
about
a second.
this? Or?
This is Lana, and this is this Justin guy that I just showed you on video. Okay, he posted a thing on Facebook, and that's what she had pulled up on her thing when he came in.
Yeah, I'm all right. Okay.
And the police chief supposedly was arrested for the murder of a couple in Chicago. But I'm going to try to find that in a second and pull it up for you guys. But I want you to hear this. You can hear the audio at least.
Is this your post? Yeah, that's my post. That's my Facebook.
Okay.
This is so can hear you. Can you hear? This is so can hear you. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Hi. How are you?
Okay, here we go. Listen to this.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I saw. Is this your post? Yeah, that's my post. That's my Facebook. Okay. And you stand by this post? I do. Yeah. Do you think they're going to like make an announcement about this, or? It's very possible. Are they trying? So he's in custody? As far as I know, yes, that's what I've been told. And when you say that you've been working with the FBI in Oak Park, how long? Like, are you allowed to talk about that? Yeah, I'm not actually bound by the gag order because of how I get my information through someone that I know that I've personally worked with, and so I'm free to talk as much as I want. Okay. Were you? I mean, that was a homicide. Well, it was a double murder in what, 2020? Yeah, May of 2020. I believe. Okay, and then and he was Tom was a lawyer for what? Like he did all like the police. Yeah, he did like state law, federal law. He was on the Chicago Police Board. He was on the disciplinary commission. That was the disciplinary commission. Yeah, so he like basically what was it? For the cops, when he would have to do, he would look at both sides to see if the cops were being funky or whatever. Wasn't that part of it? Yeah, so the case that he's really famous for is
Oh, look.
crap, what was it? Laquan McDonald. Okay. He did that case. That's what he's really known for. Okay. And I know you were trying to connect some stuff to make the certain dates match up with Frye being in Chicago. Yes. So Frye actually applied to the Chicago Police Academy, but they rejected him. Do you know? And that was April of 2020, same weekend as Tom and Leslie. But also the position for superintendent of Chicago Police was open, so they were interviewing for that as well. So we think maybe he did. And even better, on top of that, the Oak Park PD were looking for a new chief of police. So there's a chance that you think he interviewed for a couple different positions. Yeah, that's what I think. Because he does have properties here all over the state. He does? Yeah, he's got properties in Sauk Village, Peoria, where else? I'm not sure. So what made you put out your video today? Well, actually, funny enough, I saw your stream last night. Did you? Yeah. And I was like, wait, hold up, let me do it first. Well, see, I mean, my son has two moms, so I try to be as respectful as I can to anybody in the way that they want to live their life, as long as my philosophy is as long as you're not harming anybody, and you know, who you want to love and support and all that is your right, and just as long as you're not hurting other people.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
And I don't think that anybody should be, you know, hate to me is something that is completely taught. You're taught that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about racism. It's really disgusting to see. And that's why I fight so hard for the minorities of, that make up our United States. Because to ever be discriminated or prejudged, and I don't understand why, But
people are jerks. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's more so maybe we fail as parents because, like I said, I think some things are taught, and you wouldn't know that anybody's less than unless you're taught that. So
yeah, so Frye has property in Park Forest, Sauk Village, and Peoria. So he's got 3 different properties here.
Okay. And I could put Brent Kopaka in a bunch of different spots in Chicago as well as Cleary.
Yeah, Clear Senior is completely and totally involved in all this bullshit. But Brent is completely innocent. He had nothing to do with any of it.
Yeah, I feel like he got a bad rap.
Yeah, no, everybody's been dragging his name through the mud, and I've been angry about it.
Now, how did you get involved with all of this? If you can talk about it.
What was that you cut out?
Oh, I said, how did you get involved with all of this? If you're allowed to talk about it, like, I take it you live in Chicago.
Yeah, I do. I live in Chicago. I've basically lived here my entire life. I spent 2 winters in Colorado working for Vail, but otherwise I've always lived in Chicago or the suburbs.
Okay.
But
I'm a Midwest person
20,
too.
Yeah, cool. But 2018, yeah, 2018, I was the first openly trans recruit to enlist after the trans service ban got lifted. Yeah. So because I ended up, I didn't even graduate high school. It was I broke my hip.
How?
I've been on service for 15 years. But because I did that, because I was in the military, and Pete Buttigieg started running for president, I worked on his campaign. And I was helping him write trans healthcare policy that better than what exists now. Because there are things that trans men need that choose to pay for. And those are things that I've had to fight for. So that policy proposal would have covered these things that were currently not covered. And you got to yeah, that's where I got to be. And one of Kate's security guards is somebody that I know that's much together. Okay. So he feeds me clues and wriggles to stuff. And that's how I get my information.
Andrea just wants to say that very quickly. He's just saying.
Yes, no problem.
And you just, I feel like stuff like this is really delicate because, you're just, everybody's emotions and feelings, and you're talking about something like this on top of, 4 people being murdered. But I kind of just wanted to hear from you in terms of, that was a pretty exclusive 10 minutes. And you stand by it?
I do. I completely stand by it.
Sorry about that.
And so Dylan was attacked.
That's what I was told, yeah.
And for the For being trans or for something else?
For being trans, yeah.
So nobody knew this?
Nobody knew until Dylan had surgery in January.
Just like this past January?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I was, excuse my ignorance then. So is Dylan always been like a woman? Or
No, Dylan is male to female.
male to female? Okay.
Yeah.
So like, how did you guys cross paths? Or is this just recent?
I got the information from the person I'm working for and helping out. He specifically chose me to do this because I'm trans and because of my military test scores.
Okay.
So he brought me into the fold because of Dylan being trans, and he wanted me to help her.
Okay, so have you ever talked to Dylan at all, or?
I'm supposed to be talking to her on Wednesday.
What's today even? Today's Monday, right?
Yeah.
All my days are confused. Okay.
As long as everything goes to plan, I'm supposed to be talking to her on Wednesday. So we'll see what happens.
And so all your information is coming from your source.
Yeah, all of my information comes directly from my source, who I know in person from working with him on Pete's campaign.
Okay. And did the people so nobody knew anything like this until the surgery?
That's my understanding. My understanding is that the rumor has been going around for a long time, and it could possibly, maybe, be related to whatever happened at Pi-Fi in the fall, because none of us know what happened at Pi-Fi.
What do you mean Pi-Fi in the fall?
There was some sort of thing that happened, and the rumor is that some of the girls either got kicked out or they left.
Okay, so the girls in the house, people that.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was in the fall, like this past fall.
I think it was fall 2021.
Fall 2021.
I think so. That or 22. I'm not entirely sure.
And then was the surgery like this past January of like 2023 or 2022?
2023, just a couple weeks ago.
Okay. And you mentioned something about I mean, you mentioned quite a bit of things in the video. Do you care to want to like elaborate on anything, or just the video stands as is? Or?
I mean, really.
Like, do you think that any of the parents? Do you think that any parents are going to contact you and say, "What are you talking about?"
Nobody has, so we'll see.
And no one's like contacted you to say, "Take that down,"
Nope.
because it's not true. You know what I mean?
Nope.
What about like law enforcement?
Nope, nothing.
Has the media reached out to you at all?
Nope. And honestly, I don't even care about the media. I just want to help Dylan. That's all I care about.
And so, like, you. So, do you know any of it's probably better questions for Dylan. Do you think that she confided in any of her roommates? And they like accepted her and did that?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't have those details right now.
And you mentioned something about her being spared because of Bethany. Are you allowed to talk about that at all?
So my understanding is that Dylan and Bethany are super good friends. So the people involved in the crime left them alone. But then when they found out that Dylan is trans after her surgery, they couldn't trust her. But also
Why could they trust her before but not after? What would have been?
It has to do with the Mormon church.
Oh, you mean like just their beliefs, and it was like, okay, now she's like a, what do they call it, like a dark spirit.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. But there are other extenuating factors that come into play with it as well. But I can't really entirely talk about that yet.
What's your take on her version of the events of seeing somebody in black?
I'm not entirely sure that's what actually happened. Because different versions of her story that I have heard have never had enough.
And then do you know where Bethany was that evening?
I don't know. I don't even know where Dylan actually was. Because the timelines are so messed up. You can't even place Bethany or Dylan at the house.
Like that evening?
Yeah, so like between 1 and 4, there's really no way to pinpoint exactly where Dylan and Bethany were without getting their cell phone information.
So Christ Church and the Mormon Church is different, though, right?
Yeah, so it's like Christ Church, the Mormon Church, and the LDS Church, but they're all Mormon.
Okay. So you mentioned about Xana being Ethan's beard. Do you have like proof of this, or is it just what your source told you?
It's what my source told me. There are video files and audio files. I don't know if they will be released.
And then so something that I've been looking into is the Eco Shield.
Oh boy.
This so
Can you hear me now?
yeah, hi, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm alright.
Okay. Yeah, I saw. Is this your post?
Yeah, that's my post on my Facebook.
Oh, I think
Okay. And you stand by this post?
I
do,
think
yeah.
I backed it up. Somehow messed it up. Hold on.
So
Can you hear me now?
and
Video files and audio files. That's all I really know. They're keeping everything very tight-lipped right now.
I'm sorry, guys.
yeah, I was really when I saw that video, I was like, okay, this has to come down if it's not true. Why isn't it? Why?
Yeah, so it's like Christ Church, the Mormon Church, and
Clad black and
knew until Dylan had surgery. From the
what's today even? Today's
I
Monday.
don't know
right?
where it ended.
yeah.
All my days are confused. Okay.
And
Go back to the Christ Church. That's the last thing they was talking about.
so we'll see what happens.
And so all your information is coming from your source.
Yeah, all of my information comes directly from my source, who I know in person from working with him on Pete's campaign.
Okay. And did the people
Okay, that sounds like we're close enough.
so nobody
I got
knew
back on
anything
track.
like this until
Sorry.
the surgery?
That's my understanding. My understanding is that the rumor has been going around for a long time, and it could possibly, maybe, be related to whatever happened at Pi-Fi in the fall, because none of us know what happened at Pi-Fi.
What do you mean Pi-Fi in the fall?
There was some sort of thing that happened, and the rumor is that some of the girls either got kicked out or they left.
Okay, so the girls in the house, people that
Yeah.
Okay. And that was in the fall, like this past
Yeah.
fall,
I think it was fall 2021.
fall 2021.
I think so. That or 22. I'm not entirely sure.
And then was the surgery like this past January of like 2023 or 2022?
2023, just a couple weeks ago.
Okay. And you mentioned something about I mean, you mentioned quite a bit of things in the video. Do you care to like elaborate on anything, or it just the video stands as is? Or?
I mean, really.
Like, do you
I
think
don't
that
really
any of
know
the
what else to
parents?
say.
Do you think that any parents are going to contact you and say, "What are you talking about?"
Nobody has, so we'll see.
And no one's like contacted you to say, "Take that down,"
No,
because it's not true. You know what I mean?
no.
What about like
word?
what about like law enforcement?
Nope, nothing.
Has the media reached out to you at all?
Nope. And honestly, I don't even care about the media. I just want to help Dylan. That's all I care about.
But so like you. So what do you know any of the when? It's probably better questions for Dylan. Do you think that she confided any of her roommates? And they like accepted her and did that?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't have those details right now.
And you mentioned something about her being spared because of Bethany. Are you allowed to talk about that at all?
So my understanding is that Dylan and Bethany are super good friends. So the people involved with the crime left them alone. But then when they found out that Dylan is trans after her surgery, they couldn't trust her anymore. But also there are...
Why could they trust her before but not after? What would that have anything to do with?
It has to do with the Mormon Church.
Oh, you mean like just their beliefs, and it was like, okay, now she's like a, what do they call it, like a dark spirit?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. But there are other extenuating factors that go into play with it as well, but I can't really entirely talk about that yet.
Okay. What's your take on her version of the events of seeing somebody in clad black? And
I'm not entirely sure that's what actually happened, because all the different versions of her story that I have heard have never added up to me.
And then do you know where Bethany was that evening?
I don't know. I don't even know where Dylan actually was, because the timelines are so messed up. We can't even place Bethany or Dylan at the house.
Like that evening?
Yeah, so like between 1 and 4, there's really no way to pinpoint exactly where Dylan and Bethany were without getting their cell phone information.
Okay. So Christ Church and the Mormon Church is different though, right?
Yeah, so it's like Christ Church, the Mormon Church, and the LDS Church, but they're all Mormon.
Okay. So you mentioned about Xana being Ethan's beard. Do you have like proof of this, or is it just what your source told you?
It's what my source told me. There are video files and audio files, but I don't know if they will be released.
And then so something that I've been looking into is the Eco Shield.
Oh boy. can of worms right there.
It sure is. Interesting.
So I actually found something interesting about that, though. There's a company that's part of EcoShield, Legal Shield, the Shield in general, and they have a headquarters in Atlanta.
They do.
Yeah, they have a headquarters in Atlanta.
Yeah, they're also in Austin.
But what's interesting about the Atlanta one is Katie Janess and her dog Bowie.
Her dog Bowie, as in the animal that got skinned?
No, Katie Janess and her dog Bowie were murdered in Atlanta.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. She was running or whatever. She was walking her dog.
Yeah, she was out walking her dog, and she was stabbed to death, and so was her dog.
Oh, I thought her dog was okay.
No, her dog died. Tom and Leslie's dog is okay.
Okay, but the dog was stabbed.
Yeah,
I know. It was that in that was what, like a year. I thought they ruled out Brian for that. Weren't they looking at Brian for that unsolved murder?
Yeah, they were originally looking at Brian. I was originally looking at him as well because I didn't have all of the other information that I have now. But Brian did not do it.
Yeah.
But I have a suspicion of who did it, but I can't prove it.
Yeah, I was really, when I saw that video, I was like, okay, this has to come down if it's not true. Why isn't it coming down? Why isn't it coming down? Then I saw this post, and I'm like, okay, we're going really. It's just to read this about Chief, Frye. You said what he said. We found the two smoking guns. We needed to place Frye in Oak Park. When do you feel this will ever be spoken about by? I mean, if the FBI have Frye in custody, don't you think they're going to be talking about that?
What I know is that a whole bunch of shit is supposed to come out on Wednesday. That's all I really know. They're keeping everything very tight-lipped right now.
Well, yeah, they are. There's that gag order.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that because of the way I get my information, he's not outright telling me the information. He gives me the clues to find the information. So that way, I'm not bound by the gag order, and I'm allowed to talk.
Yeah. So have you talked to Anne before or since any of this?
I don't even know who Anne is.
Well, Brian's attorney?
Oh, I've emailed her a couple times, but her response to me came through my source because she can't technically email me right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, why was everybody murdered?
Ethan had to do with gay and gay for pay.
That's like the 2.0 thing that I'm talking about with like the, like the OnlyFans on steroids. I call it like OnlyFans 2.0. Things of that nature. Like,
yeah, that's part of it. Kaylee was killed as revenge for Hannah.
Kaylee?
Yeah.
I thought Maddie was her alleged roommate or something.
Maddie and Hannah lived together their freshman year in the dorms.
Can you prove that?
Sophomore year, that I don't have proof of, at least not right now. But sophomore year, Hannah moved out and she moved into her apartment on Baker Street. Her first roommate was this really sweet little old lady. then she moved out, and then Hannah's new roommate moved in. That roommate has asked me not to say her name, so I want to keep her out of this.
Her younger roommate.
I'm not sure if she was younger or older. I think her roommate might have been older.
Is that the person that was roommates with her when she passed?
Yeah.
Has she ever spoken about anything? Has she ever put anything down? Was she there? Was she the one that found Hannah?
She was the one who found Hannah. She came home and Hannah's door was shut and locked. So she called MPD. They showed up, knocked Hannah's door down, and found her dead.
And that was the Baker Street, right? That's where she.
Yeah, that was the Baker Street apartment. And I have spoken directly to Hannah's roommate who lived with her at the time that she died. So I have all those conversations screen capped.
Was she ever interviewed by the police? They ever.
She's been trying to get Hannah's file from them since Hannah died. They won't hand it over.
Isn't it a closed case?
Yeah, it is.
So what's the whole? Why can't she get it?
So she was promised the file 3 separate times. Every time that she asked for it, they wouldn't give it to her. And she hasn't known why. Because her dad also tried to get it, and they wouldn't give it to her dad. So some of my friends and I, we put in FOIA requests to get it. And we couldn't get it.
Did they give a reason? Did you appeal it?
I did not appeal, but I still have the email, so I can forward that to you so you can read it.
Yeah, I would like to take a look at that, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally fine.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I was. I kind of just wanted to hear from you directly because, like I said, I'm not one to say that someone's lying or they're this or they're that. I kind of just was like, okay, well, how is this still on the internet if it is all not true? Law enforcement should be able to get this taken down. The families, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if I were lying, somebody would have taken it down by now.
That's what I was saying to myself.
And
when I saw this, and I was like, okay, well, somebody could be acting like you, and the only way that I could do that is by flushing it out. So I went ahead and that's why I put this up here saying that, all right, well, maybe Justin will see this because sometimes you don't even know when people are doing stuff to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the that Chef Dizzy Twitter that popped up recently.
Okay. Yeah.
All he's doing is attacking me. And he's saying all these lies that just aren't even true.
Do you believe that that's harsh? Isn't that who Chef Dizzy is?
It's not Anon, because Anon is in PC.
He is in PC.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew it.
Yeah, he's a key material witness.
He's a key witness, isn't he?
Yep, he is.
I knew it. Fuck, Lana. Woo! I called that shit.
So you know how Payne just up and disappeared, right?
Payne did?
Yeah, did you notice that after the PCA came out, he vanished into thin air?
No, I mean, when you say vanish in a thin air, is he in PC then?
He is. He's in PC. Yeah, he is. He's in PC.
PC is protective custody. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, because Payne was also one of my sources until they pulled him out.
Really?
Yeah.
So how upset were they when I released the body cam footage of everything?
I don't know. No one talked to me about that.
Because I know that they had that for like a month, like news outlets, like mainstream media.
Oh yeah, that body cam footage, from what I can tell, it's not even really irrelevant.
It's interesting with the a couple things to me were interesting. the amount of people that were responding for certain things for a noise complaint. Why are there all those officers? Number one. Number two, when you have a ride along, they're not supposed to be all up in that like that.
Yeah, basically those videos are just giving you the proof of the sketchy stuff that's been going on.
At the house, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
The revolving
So
door.
that's, yeah, the revolving door of the plug house.
Yeah. So who helped Payne write that PCA? Because it wasn't just him.
That I don't know, but I know it was intentionally written the way it was.
You could tell that.
Yeah, it was intentionally written that way to get BK off.
It was intentionally written that way to get BK off.
Yeah.
So basically, it was intentionally written that way to be beatable.
Yep.
Again, is this your speculation, or is this?
That's coming from my source, so.
What's has there been any talk about? I told Adam everything.
We still don't know what that is about. Because we don't know where Adam is, and Adam isn't talking. And anyone else who knew, unless Dylan and Bethany knew, everybody else who knew what happened is dead.
Why did Harsh do that interview with that lady?
I think it was just for clout, honestly.
Well, because I mean, I caught him lying a couple different times.
Yeah, I think it's really just, I kind of think he likes the attention. That's how it felt to me. It was kind of like an attention grabbing sort of thing. Because everybody was so obsessed with him and his car.
His car?
Yeah.
What about his car?
He has a little white sedan.
That looks like a Elantra?
Yeah.
Suspect vehicle 1?
Yep. I can't even keep track of how many vehicles are involved in this right now. There's so many vehicles.
So what do you think about Shoop Hall?
Yeah, so the Shoop family are pretty fucking scary. Nothing happens in that town without them knowing about it. They basically run that town.
Why did Cleary have to file bankruptcy in 2016?
That I don't know. I'm still looking into that.
What was Frye at the bar that night?
Yep. Guess whose truck that is on the CCTV?
You can say it.
It's Frye's truck.
That's what I thought.
And the car on the gas station CCTV, that's not an Elantra.
It's a Sonata.
Yeah, it's a 2017 Sonata, and there's only one person who owns that car.
Wait, that's. Is it someone's son?
Yes.
Is it, what's his name's son? Is it Mike's son?
Nope. Scott Jr.
It is Clary's son?
Yep. Scott Jr. owns that car.
Was he coming from the White Ave area?
I'm not quite sure, but I know he was in the house and he's one of the killers.
You're coming out of my channel saying this. What?
Yep. Because he wanted revenge for Hannah. And KG was bullying Hannah. Also,
do you have any proof of this?
Not yet.
So this is all speculation?
I know it to be true from talking to Hannah's other roommate, but that is what it is.
So this is your speculation?
Yeah, I guess we can call it that. But the rumor on the street is that Scott Jr. wanted revenge for Hannah's death. And if you look at the dates of everything, the murders on November 13th were 2 or 3 days before Hannah would have turned 21.
She was born on November 15th, 2000 in Boise. She was the middle child of 3 kids. Yeah. They bounced around a lot for him being a lawyer. Do you know why?
That I don't know. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the church, though. But also, Hannah's dad got his law degree at the same time as Franklin Lee. Franklin Lee just took not ownership, but they transferred from Estes LLC to Franklin's LLC.
Okay.
So Franklin basically controls the property, but Estes is still owning it.
What property?
The 1122 King property.
So who owns that?
Right now it's owned by Dan and Scott.
Yeah. But
Franklin basically controls the property through his LLC or whatever. But Franklin and Scott Sr. got their law degrees at the same exact time from the University of Idaho College of Law.
What year? 2000? 2000? Because then he... Are you talking about Scott Cleary?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got his... And then they all moved to Seattle, and they went to Washington.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet there's somewhere to go. Here. Not there. And too many goddamn files. Too much stuff to keep track of. Oh, that's not it. This one. Oh. So, Scott Sr. was at UI College of Law from 97 through 2000.
Oh. And then Ann Taylor went there, but she was same time. And
I haven't pulled her background yet.
Yeah, I pulled hers today to make sure to double check.
And Franklin Lee graduated from the College of Law in 99. So he overlapped with Seep. And so they knew each other from getting their degrees.
And Sheep was there in 99 too?
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that Hannah was born in Boise when he's going to school in Moscow. So did him and his wife not live together? Did she live just in...
I have no idea. I can't find anything about Hannah's mom anywhere. I can't even find anything about Scott Jr. anywhere. He's been entirely wiped from the internet.
I found stuff on Amanda just because of their bankruptcy. I was very interested when I came across that. Why would Frye kill 2 people and stab them to death in Chicago? That
Mm,
So can you hear you? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, hi, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm all right.
Okay.
well, there we go again. An
Yeah,
Amber Alert
I
came
saw,
through.
Is this your post?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, that's my post on Facebook.
This update.
Yeah.
2 people and stab them to death in.
But that is what it is.
Who helped Payne write that PCA?
Nothing
Sorry,
happens
sorry,
in that
guys.
town without them knowing.
Area?
I'm not quite sure, but I know he was in the house and he's one of the killers. Birchlow.
Trying to get it back to where it was.
But also, Hannah's dad got his law degree.
Okay, a little further.
Much stuff to keep track of.
Okay, we're close here. Sorry. Every time something comes through on this, it jumps it back to the beginning. I'll learn, though, I promise. I'll learn how to make it work very smoothly.
So, Scott Sr. was at UI College of Law from 97 through 2000. Oh. Anything about Hannah's mom anywhere.
That's a little better.
I can't even find anything about Scott Jr. anywhere. He's been entirely wiped from the internet.
I found stuff on Amanda just because of their bankruptcy. I was very interested when I came across that. Why would Frye kill 2 people and stab them to death in Chicago?
That
Oh my gosh.
So, can you
Why?
hear me now?
Yeah, hi, how are you doing?
Why? It's killing me.
Put this here. Sign in. Education. So, Scott Sr. was at UI College of Law from 90.
So did him and his wife not live together? Did she live just in... She was born on November 15th, 2000 in Boise.
Anyone else who knew, unless Dylan and Bethany knew, everybody else who knew what happened, around this. Yeah, many.
So
many
are they doing it with a like a LLC or like a trust?
Can let me see if I can put this here. Sign in.
I don't want y'all to miss any of it, but every time that Amber Alert comes up, it takes it right back to the front.
All right, let's see if I can share screen.
Was Brian working before he went to WSU for school? Was he involved in any way?
This is not the right place.
That
Oh, maybe it did it in the video. I don't know.
Are you talking about Scott Cleary?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got his
too much stuff to keep track of. That's not it. This one. Education. So, Scott Sr. was at UI College of Law from 97 through 2000.
Oh. And then Ann Taylor went there, and she was same time. And
I haven't pulled her background yet.
Yeah, I pulled hers today to make sure, to double check.
And Franklin Lee graduated from the College of Law in 99. So he overlapped with Seek. And so they knew each other from getting their degrees.
And Shoop was there in 99 too?
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that Hannah was born in Boise when he's going to school in Moscow. So did him and his wife not live together? Did she live just in...
I have no idea. I can't find anything about Hannah's mom anywhere. I can't even find anything about Scott Jr. anywhere. He's been entirely wiped from the internet.
I found stuff on Amanda just because they're bankruptcy. I was very interested when I came across that. Why would Frye kill 2 people and stab them to death in Chicago?
Okay, we're back close now. Sorry. I'm just going to let this play through because it may have come through when I was screen recording. Yes, it did. So I messed all that up for no reason. I'm so sorry.
Because Tom Johnson had to say in all of that.
I was trying to stop it every time.
So his bankruptcy was voluntary. It was Chapter 7. They discharged it.
In 2017. It was filed in 2016.
Yeah. Yep.
And the murders were just a couple years later.
Yep.
So let's talk about the drugs. Are there drugs involved with this?
Oh God, yeah. It's wild. It's wild. Well, what do you know? What do you think you know? Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can open this here. Sign in. Properties. All right, now let's see if I can share screen.
Was Brian working before he went to WSU for school? Was he involved in any way with any type of police work, law enforcement?
I'm pretty sure he's a Fed informant. That's my information, is that he's a Fed informant. So, I'm kind of a nerd with way too much time on my hands. And, let's see. If I scroll in here in Idaho, all of these properties right here, those are owned by Clear Senior and Franklin. And that's in Boise.
Could you pin them to any property in Moscow? Because I couldn't.
Yeah, many. Using all these LLCs as
I'm totally messing this up. Okay. I was trying to look up this guy's listings on TikTok.
So the purple,
I'm sorry about the
pink,
music.
this orange one up here, these orange ones, those are like their properties. Those are Franklin, Perky, SD. and Scott Sr. They all have properties right there in Moscow.
Let me ask you a question about a piece of property.
Okay.
It's a warehouse.
In Canada?
It's a warehouse in.
Because Marcus, the owner of Corner Club,
Yeah.
has a business in Vancouver. It is called S&M Distributing.
Interesting.
Scott and Mike Distributing.
It's a warehouse it's 14 Long Water Drive, Rockland. Massachusetts. And then the other one is have you ever heard of Pandas LLC?
No, I haven't. That's new.
Okay.
It looks like I don't have the Massachusetts property done yet.
And then what about them moving when they moved to Anchorage, Alaska? Why did they move there?
I'm still trying to figure that out. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And
So
then
how many properties did I find?
Did you know that Cleary lived in Brazil?
Out here, be free.
Oh, it's an ad. Sorry. Sorry, I have to skip her ad.
No,
And he speaks fluent Portuguese?
I did not.
So you said
Now, the only reason I can see them being in Palmer is that they can come through this waterway here, right? And then they can bring everything back down through Vancouver and over the border back into the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason that I can see them being in Palmer. I don't know why else he would have gone to Palmer. Because that's Franklin's property in Palmer.
And then what about them? What about the burning of incinerating the drugs? Have you heard about that?
I heard about it, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay. And then who planted the sheath?
I don't know who planted it, but it was planted.
Have you ever heard of an alias named Rob Hamilton or Rob Whitmer? And have you ever
I'm not sure.
And have you ever heard of Church Fuel?
No, those are new.
And then what about
I know some of this is boring, guys,
what about
but
Cleary? Does Cleary still own that property in Rexburg?
she does a really hard deep dives. But he
545
knows some of this
South
stuff,
2nd
so
East.
he's done some research, but he's really full of it with most things. He needs
I've
to
got that on my
be
list
taken
right
off the
here.
internet.
You do have that one?
And this proves
Yeah,
that you
that
can't
one.
believe everything you hear.
It was an apartment. Do you have a year associated with that?
Let me see.
And then, do you know if they were both in the same fraternity?
I believe they were. That's what I've been told. I've been told they were in the same frat. I don't have any dates for the 545 South 2nd. There's no date here.
So how do they, of all the people to frame, how does BK, I mean, this is a guy that's just, moves from Pennsylvania. He doesn't know anybody. How does he get?
That I haven't completely figured out. But my theory, and if I'm right about this, which I think I am, BK has been a Fed informant the whole time. Because Dan Estey is former DHS. And Dan Estey is involved with the drugs.
Does it have to do with that broad, that girl?
I have no idea.
With that car?
Oh, yeah, she's involved in this shit. Yeah, Pam G. So the car belonged to Estey. Estey put it up at auction. Pamela got it at auction. But Pamela works for the Shield.
Where was Kaylee taking her job?
Austin.
To do what?
Marketing company. Yeah, like that Extreme Networks, which is one of the shell companies of the Shield.
Who are the three people in the house?
Frye, Cody Funky, Josh Couch.
Just saying these people are the ones that did the unalivings. The chief of police, okay.
So you're saying Scott Jr., Cody?
Yep.
Why was he in town?
Church stuff, I think. I'm not entirely sure why he was in town.
I was
Unless
wrong
it
about
was
the
because
TikTok
of the
username
events of
too.
that
It was
night, if he
Josh
purposely came for
not
that, which I
272,
feel
I
like he
think.
did.
And
So I'm not sure if it's the same person or not,
Frye,
but
Cody.
it very well could be.
Who was the other one you said?
It's Josh
Couch. And Josh Couch is the Chef Dizzy Twitter. And that's why he's freaking the fuck out and trying to pin this on me.
He's trying to pin this homicide? These homicides on you?
No, but he's saying that, like, I'm all these other people, and I've never shown my face anywhere, and I'm lying, and this, that, the other. And oh, my IP and MAC addresses match the Pappa Rodgers, and they only said that because of my last name. And every time we ask him to give us the proof publicly, he won't do it because it doesn't exist. And he's sitting there saying, oh, I've never shown my face anywhere. He literally stole my Facebook pictures to create fake Twitter accounts. Not to mention that I have my pictures and videos on my Twitter. I've got my YouTube. So I've already disproven his lies.
So are those juggling fire things, are those like old and he's just pretending that those are recent? Did I hear? Yeah.
Oh, and on this point, he's a fire dancer.
Oh yeah, I know that. So did he give up like selling drugs?
I don't know if he was involved with the drugs or not. That information I don't have.
So versus all of obviously the dealings in Moscow have been shady, but how would you think that you'd be able to stab 4 people and why? So you're saying that all these people were killed for different reasons, but they just happened to be living in the same home?
It mostly had to do with the drugs and the OnlyFans, which most of them were involved with.
Yeah, I call it OnlyFans 2.0 because of what it was being used for, but
yeah.
But see, like that stuff's so digital and so traceable. So how you know what I'm saying or no?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Digital evidence, like Brian's phone being shut off, being turned back on, stuff like that.
Literally everything about this case is on Brian's laptop.
So who was Brian really watching? Was he watching
He was watching SD for the most part.
SD?
SDESTEY.
Oh, SD.
Yeah.
Got you. The owner.
Yeah, because he's former Department of Homeland Security,
Hmm.
so he has the know-how and wherewithal to start the drug ring in the first place and get away with it.
Okay. Go through the day. You like, how did things happen in your opinion that day?
Well, from what I know, they were all lured to the house that night. So, how I think this all went down. I think Ethan and Xana had already come home from the ball. I think they were already home. And then Kaylee and Maddie come home around, I think it was like a little after 2, right?
Well, yeah, like 1:56. Well, yeah, 1:56.
And what trips me up is the DoorDash delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Because
why does that trip you up?
This guy
I
has
have
redacted on his
a
Facebook
transcript
page
of a
everything
TikTok
he
video
said.
that I typed out. I don't know where it is
Everything
right
he
now, but I have it.
said and
But
written.
basically, the person in the video is saying that the timeline from the cops is wrong
And
and that
he's
everything
walking
ended
away and he's
earlier than what the cops are saying.
because he got caught lying.
So the DoorDash, we know the DoorDash was so that one of the people could get into the house. And that was whoever Brian drove, because Brian was the driver, but he never went in the house. So the person he drove needed to get into the house, and that's what the DoorDash delivery was for, because he needed someone to open the door.
Y'all,
Because
if you
there was
go
no
to
sign of forced
truth
entry.
and transparency,
Exactly.
this
So,
is who is interviewing
my
this
question
guy.
with that is, because I've said
Lana,
this, that you'd want to separate
she
Ethan and Xana.
has debunked about everything
Yeah.
he's talked about.
And you could
So go to
separate
her page
people,
and
but that would
watch.
also require that nobody else
Check
could go
out her
open up the door.
videos on our lives.
How do you know that, you know, Bethany wouldn't have opened it or Dylan or so we need like to make sure that Ethan or Santa opened it.
She deleted this interview.
Well, if we
She said if he
assume
didn't bring receipts, she would
assume
delete it. And
that
she did.
Dylan and Bethany were not there, that eliminates them as being able to open that door. So that leaves us with the other 4. Now, they were all home, but I know that Kaylee had accidentally passed out asleep in Maddie's room.
You don't
That's what
know
she called
that,
Jack a
buddy.
bunch of times.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Because they were calling and texting Jack, both of them, because Maddie was too, as long as that information is correct. And then they fell asleep. So then Ethan and Santa would be the 2 that are awake. The DoorDash comes. If Ethan is in bed, Santa opens the door.
Now you know how on DoorDash you can just order it and they just drop it at your door. They don't. It's like a touchless delivery system here.
Yeah, we have that too. From my own personal experiences using DoorDash, sometimes they will drop it off and leave it. Other times I have to go get it.
Well, either way, you're gonna open up the door. You get what I'm saying? Like either way. So
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
no matter what, you're opening the door.
So what you could do is it's like you would drop it off at the door, and then you usually take a picture, and then like when you get to your car or whatever, then you send the picture to like let your person know that hey, I dropped this off. So what I've been doing is I've been doing samples with that because I believe that DoorDash has a lot to do with a lot. I don't believe in coincidences, and I've been testing. I've been testing things out with the DoorDash.
And there's way too many coincidences for any of this to be a coincidence. It's strange. I've never dug into something this deep and uncovered all of this stuff that just seems too crazy to be true, but it's true.
But
wasn't
when you have a bunch of people though, that's when stuff like loose lips sink ship. So you're gonna sit here and tell me how many people knew about this, and
they all immediately lawyered up.
Frye lawyered up. Just kidding.
I think he did actually. I think he was working with Franklin Scott Sr. I think they were paying Frye off to be quiet about the drugs.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. That's what I buy into is that this is a small town, and what you want to do is you want to put certain people in charge that you have stuff on, so you can blackmail them so that you can be able to do what you do. So it's kind of like this. If I go down for this, I'm taking this whole damn town down for everything that's been going on. I'm gonna blow the gas. I'm gonna blow the whole lid off this. So unless you want, if I'm going down, everybody's going down.
Yeah, so I don't know this to be a fact. I do not know this to be 100% true. I am merely speculating on this at this point. But if Frye was arrested last week, which I have reason to believe he is arrested.
He was arrested last week?
Yeah. My information says he was arrested on Monday of last week, the day that Dylan was attacked. And if you look at that day, here's my mouse. That date was 2/13/23. Everything about this case revolves around the numbers 1, 2, and 3. Because somebody involved in all of this is obsessed with numerology.
I think I know who that person is. So you stand by this and you stand by the video.
I do, yeah.
But you were given permission to say that, like for her, for Dylan.
Yeah.
Was Dylan's name Dylan before, or you not allowed to talk about? I don't want to overstep any type of boundaries. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't been told about that.
Yeah. I know that, someone's story is someone's story, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, I kind of have very little information about her whole process of transition. I don't really have a whole lot of information about it. I just know that she did have surgery in January, and the 8th, in 5 or 6 days of getting home, she was attacked. So Dylan has been talking to my source, and my source has been telling Dylan about me. So Dylan has been following me.
Oh, Lord.
And the fact that I'm trans is why I got brought into the fold in the first place.
So you don't think that you're gonna get like arrested for anything that you put out there?
If that was going to happen, it would have happened by now. And I know that I'm being watched by the feds. So.
Great. So now they're watching me.
You'll be fine. You're not a target.
How do you know that? Because I'm a good person.
Yeah, because you're a good person. You don't lie. You don't trash talk.
No, I don't.
Never has reason to come after you.
Yeah. In fact, I try to do the opposite, like to not give stuff, the attention. But I said to myself, if this stays on the internet all day today, then I'm going to be mentioning this because here, just in case some people don't know, do you care if I play your video again?
Go for it. I don't care.
Okay. And then here, I'm gonna just.
I'm just like, the entire world has known I'm trans.
Okay,
since
I played the
2018.
video
I'm just like, I
already.
don't care
So
anymore.
if you want to see the video, you can go
So,
back
like
into my
this,
stream.
I want to switch
I'm
back
going
to
to go through this because you don't want to see it again.
Of communication. Now you're finding out.
And then I saw these.
It was. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Basically, Xana was pretending to be Ethan's girlfriend in order to keep the secret that Ethan was into guys.
So much
It
bullshit
was for
here.
the sake of appearances.
His beard. Whatever.
Which is also making me think about what Quinn knows.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, what is Quinn, what does he think? How does he feel? Like, what's his opinion on all of this? But he can't tell us because he's not allowed to tell us.
So again, for those of you guys just joining, this is Justin. Justin put out that video. What time was that actually? Because I swear that was like in the middle of the night. Like
Yeah, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning.
And then, like I said, I was like, okay, this is either complete and utter craziness, and this dude is about to get sued, like mega. Okay, this is not going to stay on the internet. This is not going to stay up there, and I want to see how the rest of the day goes. And then I saw the screenshot that I had up. Where was it? You posted what time was that at?
The Facebook post, or
Yeah, I had it up here. I'm gonna put it back up there.
oh my god, it's so slow. It's baseball. 19 hours ago, so that was like 2 or 3 in the morning.
So you kind of did it like after it.
Yeah, basically,
That came first, is what I'm saying. Like your video.
yeah. So as soon as you got done with your live, I went and I jumped in the shower, and then I sat down and I made my video.
So I inspired you.
Yeah, you did, because I was like, Landon's figuring this out. Let me beat her to the punch. I was like, let me just steal her thunder real quick.
No, I'm glad that you did. I mean, Jay's been on this path for a minute, so yeah. But I was more interested in the stuff that I was uncovering when I had saw what you had posted about the stabbings in Chicago of the elderly couple.
Yeah. So
that was everything that drew me into it, because it was all that was very all the stuff that I had been working on. So when I saw you post it, I'm gonna actually share that really quick. Or here, do you have something I can put up? I'm just gonna. Hey, what's up, Shell? How are you? Good to see you in here.
Yeah, that's what I posted this morning there. I don't know if it's, because it's screen shared now. Okay.
Oh yeah, I can just share a different one, but
Here we go. There we go. Yeah, so that was the Facebook post from this morning.
this is basically the. Oh, here I can. Okay, yeah, that's good. So this morning, yeah, it said Moscow Police Department Chief of Police James D. Frye has been taken into FBI custody. He is facing a minimum of 2 murder charges. And when you put this out, is this speculation, or are you saying this is where are you getting this from?
The charges are stemming from Tom and Leslie.
Okay, so we found the 2 smoking guns we needed to place Frye in Oak Park, which is in right outside of Chicago,
Suburbs
right?
of Chicago. It's about an hour away from me, and I live right by Wrigley.
Okay. So are you a Cubs fan, or are you a
I have Cubs season tickets.
Okay, cool. We can go to a
Yeah,
game.
I'm a season ticket holder, so.
Okay.
He's saying
so,
that the chief of
Again,
police
a couple of my videos
in
back, if you're watching the
Moscow,
Moscow
Chief
murders,
Frye, murdered
the little,
that couple,
I'm doing like a documentary
Tom
style.
and
If
Leslie,
you
or
get back,
whoever,
I
in
have the story
Chicago.
of Tom
Ridiculous.
and his wife that got
Crazy.
brutally stabbed to death, and it has been unsolved. And so right here when he wrote, we found the 2 smoking guns we needed to place Frye in Oak Park at the time of the murders. The bloody shoe prints along with the knife that has canine DNA on it sealed the deal. What canine is that from?
From Tom and Leslie's dog.
You
They
found it.
never clean. They've had the knife the whole time.
They left the knife.
No. The defense team has had it the whole time.
The defense team. What defense team?
He's saying the knife
So the
that
knife
killed the
used
couple in
to kill
Chicago.
these two.
murders, yeah,
Are the
that
same-
knife
is the same
was
knife.
also used on November 13th.
On the Idaho 4.
And that knife has been taken into evidence, and they found canine DNA on the knife. That DNA matches Tom and Leslie's dog. Now, there were also bloody shoe prints in Tom and Leslie's house. There was the latent print they found with luminol in the King house. Those two prints match.
Where are you getting this from?
My source.
So your source is saying that the bloody shoe prints at Tom and Leslie's
Yep.
match the one print that was found at 1122 King.
Yep.
And you're saying that the defense has had the knife, meaning Brian Kohberger's?
Yeah, they've had it for quite some time.
And that the blood on the knife,
The dried old blood was canine
from this,
from Tom and Leslie.
from Tom and Leslie's dog.
And what happened is that
I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. Basically, guys, the same knife that killed, you're saying Tom and Leslie and their dog, right?
the dog survived. The dog's okay.
Well, okay, so then what canine blood is it?
They stabbed the dog to keep him quiet.
But the dog didn't
They
die.
weren't. The dog did not die. They were not trying to kill the dog. They were just trying to get the dog to be quiet so the neighbors wouldn't hear everything.
Okay.
But also, you want to know why there was no blood trail at the King house?
At the King house, why?
They were using tarps to walk around the house. They learned from the Oak Park killing because one of the people involved in all of this is obsessed with Dexter. They learned from the past murder how to do it better and get away with it. But someone screwed up. Someone stepped off that tarp, left a print. They tried to clean it up, but they forgot that the feds would come in and use luminol. That was their fatal flaw.
So Chief Frye would forget to use link.
Thank you there, Midnight Radio. I want to personally thank Lana for bringing out the truth to the story. Well, so, how long do you think that they've had the knife?
Oh, since November at least. Probably really late November, early December, I want to say. I'd have to go back and find it again. Actually, let me see.
If you just came on, if
No, that's not
you
what I wanted to do.
go back into this recording, you can see the video that started all of this that he put out on YouTube. I played it earlier. And
DNA evidence recovered and reconstituted from trace residue is helping to rapidly resolve this case, despite an apparent attempt by the perp to mix in canine DNA with human DNA. The dog killed 1 month prior appears to be part of the murderous matrix, except that it wasn't the dog from 1 month prior. it was Tom and Leslie's dog. The
Wait,
dog
wait.
that was skinned a month prior, his DNA was not on the knife.
And where did you
Because
read
that was
that
a
from?
different knife. My source posted it publicly.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you repeat that? Sorry. Something
So, yeah. DNA evidence. Oh, my windows are a mess. There we go. So I can see. DNA evidence recovered and reconstituted from trace residue is helping to rapidly resolve this case. So they're saying that the old dry blood on the knife got pulled and they tested it for DNA. Despite an apparent attempt by the perp to mix canine DNA with human DNA. So the person doing the attacking had human blood and canine blood on that knife because they were trying to cover their tracks, but they failed.
They use the same knife. What a bunch of fucking
Yup.
idiots.
Yup.
I mean, if this is true, I mean,
And I mean, honestly, think about it. Why would I sit here and lie about this? What do I gain from that?
yeah, no, I don't think, I like I said, I think that that stream would have been down.
Yeah, no, they would have taken everything down had I been lying. Because when I originally posted on Reddit about Scott Jr., they took it all down and I got permanently banned.
When you did what?
I was posting about Scott Jr., Hannah's brother, and I was proving that the car on the CCTV is his Sonata, not an Elantra. Then I got accused of doxing, which I didn't dox anyone at all because there's no reason for me to do that. And I'm permanently banned from Reddit on that account because I was posting about Scott. And if you've noticed, anything and everything about Scott and Hannah gets wiped almost immediately from the internet.
Yeah. So why would the FBI have 48 people on this from the beginning?
The drugs. The drugs and the church.
The pipeline.
The pipeline. Which starts in Vancouver, goes down through Boise and Moscow, down to Salt Lake, over to Colorado. And if you really, really, really look at that route that Brian drove, he is passing through every single town where there are the properties in clusters the same way as Moscow, owned by the same people, and they're all on college campuses.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of college campuses that you on that route, right?
Yeah, but also they have PO boxes along that route.
First of all, I want to say he's not saying that everybody was killed because of trans. That's not what he's saying at all.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying, guys. That's not what I'm saying.
That's not what he's saying at all.
Please don't take it that way. Please don't take it that way. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's not. People that are writing that in right now, they clearly haven't been here for the whole time. So I'm just making sure that that's known here, is that They have no idea what I've been working on and following my channel, but it has not. That's not even. This has nothing to do with that. People weren't killed because of the trans world.
Yeah, no,
That's you're
none of this had.
You're mixing up two different conversations. He was talking about how
Yeah,
Dylan
yeah.
had gotten beat up, right?
So Dylan got attacked last week for being trans, but before that day, none of this had to do anything with anyone being trans. That was all just rumors until last week.
You know it, Dr. Thrifty. Follow that money. That's all I've been doing. I've been following the property.
Just follow the money.
Follow the money. Follow the property.
The money, the cars. Follow the cars and follow the phones.
Well, that's what. So one of my questions is I thought it was interesting that, do they have the cell phones of all 4 victims? Or
I think they do.
Do they have all 4? That's something that I was curious.
Wait, no, maybe they don't. Because somebody, was it?
Because it was very weird. It was very interesting.
Was it Kaylee? Was it Kaylee or Maddie who has the sister who knew her password?
Kaylee,
yeah. So Kaylee's sister has her phone, but I don't know about the rest.
Has her phone or does her password? Because I thought it was very interesting. She's not going to have her phone. I don't think she has her phone. Her phone is evidence. There's no way that anybody has anybody's phones. If that's the case, it's insane.
Yeah.
But everything in that home phone wise, any type of electronic, that's an evidence. So,
yeah. So
what they could do is you can break. When I say break into, if you have someone's password to get into certain things because they shared passwords, that's what Steve was talking about.
Yeah. So they probably have a way to remote log into the phone account from a computer to access what was on that phone. Yeah. And they can probably go into her cloud and see what's in her cloud. Because that would automatically upload it. That would automatically upload on its own.
So you're saying the defense has the knife? Because I will give you this. I will give you this. I've said it with some other people. They never had a search for that knife. There was no big search. They've had the mainstream media's been there. How long was Brian from News Nation there? If they would have been, dragging any of the bodies of water, we would have known about it. There's been no go out there. Let's you need the knife. Go get the knife. Where's the knife at?
They have it. Do you want to know where they found the knife?
Well, listen.
Thank God.
It was in Frye's truck. Kane was supposed to get me the chain of custody documents, but he got scared. They pulled him out. I never got the paperwork.
You try to make yourself so important,
But the knife was found in Frye's car, his truck, because Frye fancies himself a true crime buff. It's not the first time he's gone rogue.
Gone rogue.
What do you mean by gone rogue?
He's done other shady stuff, like Tom and Leslie. He kind of likes to go rogue and do his own little investigations by himself and stuff, I guess. Mm-hmm. That's the way I was told about it. And I was told that Frye will not use guns, ever, because they're too traceable.
Time to shut it down, Mama.
Spyderco knives was in Frye's truck. We think another one is buried.
Okay, when you say like we think, so we don't know, you don't know where it really was found.
What I was told is that it was found in Frye's truck. So take that for what you will. But that's what Payne told me. And then I had someone else
Wait,
come to
Payne?
me.
Payne told you this? So your source is Payne with the knife?
One of my sources. I have multiple sources.
Ooh.
But after Payne told me about the knife, someone else, completely unrelated, that I've never even heard of before, showed up in my DMs confirming the same information. And that person told me, oh yeah, hey, the feds are watching you. And it's the same people who released all the phone information.
The loony bin ought to be watching you, buddy.
The people who released the phone information flipped.
The people that released what phone information?
The Russians who gave up the pings and all that.
What Paynes?
Like when they made the timeline with the phones, my understanding is that
You mean like
that
the path that night, that so like Brian's path?
no, like all of the phone pings for Brian.
Yeah, all of his pings.
That's what she said.
Yeah, all of his pings. Apparently, from what I have been
From
told,
Russia.
those came from either
Woo.
Russia or Estonia. And the people who gave Moscow that information have now flipped on them. So they came to me and started giving me information.
To him.
Thank you there, Jackie.
He's so important. Go check out Truth and Transparency.
But Payne's Frye's boy, why would
That's where
Payne
this
give up
came
Frye?
from.
Payne's the CI.
Confidential informant. Payne is too. Mm-hmm.
He came from Salt Lake, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Fuck, man.
At least I think so.
They have a lot of mofos watching Frye.
It almost sounds like she believes a lot of the stuff he's saying. Really. But then afterwards she comes out
So
with
Payne,
all kinds of proof.
yeah, he's from Salt Lake City. He also lived in Missouri. Idaho, Utah, Idaho, Missouri, Idaho.
Wait, what part of Missouri?
Waynesville? Uh, 405 Patriot.
Can you tell me anything about the bodies, any of the damage?
So I'm really, really annoyed about this. The page that got yanked from the PCA, because yes, they did remove a page and try to cover it up that it was a scanning error, and it wasn't. That page detailed all of Ethan's wounds, and it talked about the knives.
Knives is in plural.
Plural, yes.
See, I think that's going to be an issue in court about. I think the ME. So some of my sources said that the lights were on in that house, and that's why this whole thing is going to blow up in terms of that somebody was driving around and waiting for everybody to go to sleep while the majority of the lights were on in that house.
Yeah. Now, there was a rumor on 4chan. So take that for just take that for what you will, right? It's 4chan. But that rumor said that Jack D was watching from his bedroom window. When the lights went off, he called someone and told them it was go time.
Yeah, I don't believe
But
that.
that was
4chan
No,
kiss my
I
fucking
don't
ass.
believe that at all.
yeah, that was just
either.
on 4chan, so I don't even know if that's true or not.
No.
But that
That's
was a
stupid.
rumor on 4chan. But I do know that
Yes,
Ethan's
I got those. Yes, thank you for that.
Ethan's legs were cut open down to his hamstrings.
Mm.
And we think kidneys were taken.
It's disgusting.
Because whatever Cody is wrapped up in, whatever he's involved with, it has to do with these rituals and whatever. On Monday of last week, Dylan.
So you really think that Frye puts in charge Payne, who then flips on him?
I think he didn't know Payne was going to flip.
I don't believe that you could possibly get all of that done. It blows up their timeline, that you can actually do any of that in that amount of time. One person.
Yeah, the whole timeline is just like, I want to sit here and go through it by minute and compare it to the footage.
My 3D is almost done. As soon as my 3D model is done, I'll be able to do that.
Cool. Because I'm like, this timeline does not make any sense whatsoever. And like the time windows are just way too small.
And then he did one about
especially surrounding Bethany and Dylan.
And then this one I'll play at the very end.
There's nothing there to prove they were home.
He put this out after this interview.
I mean, Bethany and there's nothing to prove they were home. Is that what you said?
Which contradicts
what
he said before.
Right now, I cannot prove if Bethany and Dylan were home or not.
Oopsies. Sorry.
It's okay.
I tried to actually remove it.
It's fine. But yeah, like we cannot prove where Bethany and Dylan were. My source can because he has that information, but I don't have that information. I'm not privy to that yet.
You don't have a source.
And this is your source is the person that worked with you on the Pete.
Yeah.
You said you have multiple sources, so.
Yeah, well, I've got Payne, and then I've got my source that I worked with for Pete. And then I've had residents of Moscow DM me and tell me things.
Mm-mm.
Do you vet them?
I do, yeah. Because the information they're giving me lines up with what Hannah's former roommate was saying, and it lines up with all the rumors about Hudson. From what residents of Moscow have told me is that they all know that Hannah was killed and Hudson was killed, but it's being covered up. And people are paying to make it go away.
Why would they kill them?
Hannah wrote a letter to the governor of Idaho because she was going to flip on all the drugs.
That's what I thought.
Now, Daddy Clear is involved with the drugs.
I heard he's sugar daddy 1 and that
Yup. Yup, he is.
that's why the bankruptcy to me is very really, thank you so much there, Leslie. That's why the bankruptcy to me is really interesting.
Yeah. But also, I keep talking about Hannah. I keep posting about her anywhere and everywhere I can, screaming from the rooftops that I know the truth. Her father has not come at me at all. Her father has not said a single word to me about any of it. And I've been talking about Hannah being killed since December.
I heard that she was stabbed.
Yeah, she was stabbed in the torso. So I think she might have had her kidney taken too.
Oh.
But I don't know because I can't get her autopsy. Moscow won't let me have it.
Is there a kidney
So I was
smuggling
looking at a couple
operation
different
going on?
things in
There's a drug.
the drug pipeline to see when there was major busts where people lost a shit ton of money, or you had to, like, you know, regardless of if your shit gets intercepted or not, you still got to make that payment.
Right.
And the money that would needed to be paid to people that you better make that payment. Doesn't matter if your stuff gets whacked or not. There's a guy that's actually, I think his trial just ended. They're waiting for a verdict. Do you know who I'm talking about? Here, I'll pull it up.
Probably not. I was following the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and then
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like, this is like,
what was I following after that one?
I want you to see this.
And I had started watching the Murdoch trial, and I'm just like, this is a hot mess.
It's a sad mess is what that is.
Yeah. But just like how disorganized the case has been, and the testimonies being all over the place, and it's just been like, I can't really follow it.
Oh, let's see. Okay, yeah, here. Let me share this. That says they try to do like 2 cases in one. All right, so this was, see the date, February 17th, 2023.
Interesting.
Okay. The jury is weighing the fate of Mexico ex-minister, and this is the El Chapo bribes case. He was taking allegedly a shit ton of, you guys can go look up the story, but this is what's going on right now. And this is the guy that was basically making all the deals happen for the major cartel known as the Sinaloa.
Sinaloa cartel, yeah, they're in Idaho as well.
Yeah.
They basically run Idaho.
Yeah, Idaho, Washington. Well, they have their states, and if you look at a couple different things, if you pay attention.
So from what I have been told, Joe Vado is the connection to the cartel. That's what I have been told. Take that for what you will.
Yeah, Kendra True Crime Goth, yep. And so it's I'm going to eat, love you all, bring me some food. So anyways, Well, I'm gonna ponder some things here, Justin, and if we could talk off camera, that'd be great. But I wanted to say that, thank you for, this was not a planned thing. You just popped up here, so thank you.
Actually, one of my followers on Twitter sent me a DM and was, "Hey, Lana's talking about you. You need to go look at this."
Oh, well. I want to say that I think that either you got balls of steel, which I don't think, I do believe that I looked up some of your stuff today. I came across that article. I do know that a lot of things are going on in that area in Moscow and other connecting points. Honestly, I just want to see that the families and the victims, that the truth comes out, so that what happened to them, but can't happen to other people. If it's not some crazy stalker, serial killer. That's my take. Is why I just want the truth.
From what I have been told, I don't know how much of this is true, but from what I have been told, Wednesday is supposed to be a very explosive day. From what I have been told, something is happening on Wednesday, but that's all I know. I can assume that there's going to be multiple arrests because that makes sense. But I also think something's going to happen with that gag order, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all I have been told is that something is happening on Wednesday, and that I am allegedly getting my vindication after all this time.
Well, I hope everything that you said is the truth, for the sake of everything. Like I said, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, like my
stuff, but I don't have reason to believe that that your intentions are good. You know what I mean? I don't think your intentions are poor. If that makes sense.
No, I have no poor intentions. I have only ever wanted the truth. I wanted answers. Because as soon as I started looking at the four roommates, I found Hannah, I found Hudson, I found Joseph, I found Regina. I kept finding more and more and more suspicious deaths, suspicious injuries, and they're all in the Greek system, all of them.
Yeah.
So all of that combined, I dove deep, really deep. And as soon as I started looking at Ashlyn and Josh started sending me threats. So did his buddy Grayson.
Yeah.
And now Josh, who is the Chef Dizzy account, is losing his absolute shit and trying to come at me and spread all these lies about me.
Oh,
because he knows I'm right.
There's one thing I forgot. I'm gonna pull a Columbo on you. Why was Bethany? Why were they just simply not harmed because they weren't there, or?
Well, Cody is Bethany's brother. So.
Yeah, I knew that. I mean, did people not know that out there? Sorry. Yeah, Cody is.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that Cody is Bethany's brother.
Okay.
And Cody was in the house. He was one of the killers. So Bethany and Dylan were spared. Because Cody's not going to kill his own sister. And his sister's best friend is Dylan. And we don't even know if Bethany and Dylan were home. We cannot place them at the house. At least I can't. I don't have data that places them at the house.
All right. Well, we will pick this up. I'm tired.
Yeah,
not from you. Not from you. I'm
so
saying
just
like,
long day.
yeah, it's been a long
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, it's kind of been a crazy day since I posted that video this morning. My life has kind of blown up a little bit.
Yeah, I said that was gonna blow the internet up. I said it's definitely gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again,
And I love that people are making hate videos. Like, I'm so
Yeah, that's
amused
fine.
that people are making hate videos. It just amuses me. It amuses me.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that. So, that's ridiculous. That's just don't watch it. You know what I mean? Or if you're defaming people, then they have a right to come after you for that. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly.
But
And if I've been talking about
Keep
Hannah
your good
all this
spirits.
time, and her dad hasn't said a word to me, I'm telling the truth. If I were lying, he'd be coming after me. Because he's a lawyer.
he's a patent lawyer.
Still lawyer.
Yeah, no, I wonder what he's been patenting lately.
We can try to find out.
I can. All right, thank you so much, Justin. I just want to say thank you to everybody in chat. Thanks to all the members, subscribers. Thank you guys for listening to Justin. Like I said, just hold on.
Yeah, and I just want to let you guys know, like, I have no reason to sit here and lie to you guys about any of this. I have no bad intentions. I have no intention of, harming anyone, making them feel bad. I'm not trying to offend anyone or upset anyone.
Thank you, JJ.
All I am doing is trying to tell the truth based on the information I have and the information I know.
And see, I applaud that because you guys know what it's like when we know what people can do to hide things, and maybe some of the speculation stuff, throw all that aside.
Because end of the day,
I'm gonna basically have to go and watch myself tonight and process a little bit more. But I'm saying that it is not far fetched that people would silence people, and we're seeing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
People
I just want the
silenced.
truth because I think that it will affect other people down the road. If the truth doesn't come out, then other people could be harmed.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. We're done with that. Okay. So that was the interview. And it does sound like she's buying into that garbage that he's trying to sell her. But if she is, it doesn't take her long to change her mind because she does come out and prove a lot of things different than what he said. And he's really, the things that he said, he could get in a lot of trouble for. Slander lawsuits. It's crazy what this guy said. And then you saw on his Facebook, I pulled up where he said that he was done with the Idaho. He scrapped everything that he had on the Idaho stuff, and that he was done with it. And that was after she came out and said it was basically full of crap. Dylan was a beautiful girl in elementary and middle school. There's pictures of her as a girl. She was on the girls' soccer team. She's not trans. And I'm going to play this one more video. It's that he put out after this. Like that video that I showed that started all of this. I played it earlier on in the live here. And he's saying all this stuff. Well, then he goes over, he said he was in Atlanta Truth and Transparency's live the night before. And that's what prompted him to make that video. So after, now 2 days ago, so after he did that, and after he did the interview with Lena, he does
I've been getting paid $1,000 a month, if not more,
so.
just from this app on my phone. And I don't know if you can
Watch this. It's just 2 minutes and so.
Hey fam, how's it going? Justin here. It's a little before 6 in the morning and I'm really tired, so I want to try to keep this as short as I
guess
can.
it was right
but I also
after
want
that.
you to get the information you need.
Right after her interview with
So
him.
we're going to talk about Dylan again. And here's why. I originally thought they found out about her being trans because she had surgery on January 27th. I was wrong about that. They found out about her being trans because of OnlyFans, which is what caused the fight at Pi-Fi. Dylan was doing OnlyFans with Ashlyn. Once everybody found out Dylan was trans, they had to beat up Dylan. That was the Pi-Fi fight. That was why people were kicked out and left. That was why Ashlyn moved out of the 1122 Keene property. That was the first attempt on Dylan's life at that Pi-Fi party. The second attempt on Dylan's life was the night of November 13th. She is entirely innocent in all of this. She had nothing to do with any of it at all. Dylan really did freeze in the hallway that night. So did the other person. They both froze. They both stared at each other. The person who was supposed to kill her couldn't do it, so he ran. So Dylan survived the second attempt on her life when she wasn't supposed to. And Bethany survived because Cody is her brother. Cody's not going to let anything happen to her. Why would he? And then the third and final attempt on Dylan's life was Monday of last week, when she was beaten up badly. But she survived because somebody called the cops. Now, there were motives and plans and everything for all the other roommates. But at the end of the day, all of this has to do with Dylan. It's all about Dylan, all of it. The hit was put on Dylan by Ashlyn Couch because everybody found out that Dylan is trans from doing OnlyFans with Ashlyn Couch. She has been the main target the entire time. Dylan, I support you. Please get better soon so we can talk. Have a good night, everybody.
Okay, so I don't know where that's coming from. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so there you have it. He changes up that last video was completely different than what he has said in the interview with Lana and his first video. He's a total nut, if you ask me. I don't know. But I wanted to play this stuff because I want everybody to see that you cannot believe every single thing you hear. You cannot believe it. I think 99% of what all he said was a load of crap. And that's it, is a load of crap. I don't know why he didn't take his YouTube things down. If he took everything down about the Idaho 4 on his Facebook. I want to do a little more research into this guy, Justin Rodriguez. And I also follow Truth and Transparency. Like I said, if you've never watched her, go watch her. She did take that interview down. I had just happened to have screen recorded it. And I was going to play it so you could see the video, but I couldn't get it to upload so long. I compressed it and everything, and I couldn't get it to upload to my desktop. So it was just taking forever. So I thought I would just play it on my cell phone and let you hear it. You didn't miss anything visually anyway. But I'm going to stop for now. Rose was with me earlier, and she had a really bad headache, so she cut out early. She'll be with me next time, though. We had some audio trouble at first, so I'm gonna edit this down and remove all that at the front of the live stream because we seem to always have audio trouble at first. We either cut out on each other, we can't hear each other, or something, or there's echoes. I'm not sure. I don't know what it is, but I think it's on her end because I end up working. My end ends up working every time. So I will edit that out. So anybody who watches the replay, if you're watching it on replay, I'll get rid of that for you. Anyway, I hope y'all will hit the like or the thumbs up button. That helps the algorithm and it helps us show up more to other viewers. The more likes, the more comments. If you subscribe to our channel if you got anything out of this, because we plan to just get better and better. We're also going to start having contests and prizes to reach new goals. Some pretty good stuff to come. So I hope you've listened till the end. If you haven't, I understand. It's hard to sit through something this long. I didn't mean for it to go this long. But that was something interesting, and I thought if you didn't hear it before, you should hear it. Because I don't know, and there's some things that you all probably know that might sound logical and all that. I don't know. I just felt like it needed to be heard by more people. So everyone knows that you got to watch out for the crazy people who insert themselves into cases. I mean, this guy said that he was on, was it Pete? What's that guy's that ran for president? Pete, was it Buddha? I even think he said his last name wrong. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, he was helping him. This guy here, Justin, was helping him on his campaign, and one of his the Pete guy's security people is actually his source, and he feeds him rhymes and riddles. He doesn't outright tell him any information. He feeds him rhymes and riddles, and he has to figure it out. And that's how he's come up with all this crap that he's come up with. This is so crazy. So crazy. And, you know, I think we're going to start covering or trying to cover since we're new. And we did have a little hiatus after we started our channel. We both were sick with the flu, type A, type B, then bronchitis, almost all winter. So we did have a hiatus. We're back now, and we're going to continue, and we're going to grow, and we're going to start covering other cases. I've been watching the Murdoch trial. It's very interesting. There's a lot more cases we can cover because there's really not any new information coming out about the Idaho 4 right now. And I think people are grasping at straws to have something to report on about it. And we'll just, when something comes out, we'll take care of it. We'll report on it. But until then, we're going to start covering other things too. Anyway, I hope you have a very, very good night. Get some sleep so you can have a great day tomorrow. And we will be getting on a schedule with our lives as well, starting next week. Thank you. Good night, everybody.